So let's talk about the, once we won the war and then we're creating a new constitution. And
did we win the war?
We did win the war.
Oh, good.
Is what the Society of Cincinnati is all about. So we won, and but the country was precarious under the Articles of Confederation, so we needed to create a new constitution. And when they proposed it, when the framers proposed the constitution, or crafted it to be proposed for ratification, they were ambiguous about the standing army and the role of the militia in the Constitution. Could you describe about the responsibilities of the states or the federal government?
Well, under the Articles of Confederation, the bulk of authority over the militia rests with the states. And there are a lot of people who are concerned that under Article 1, Section 8, the new federal government was going to set regulations for the militia. The states could still appoint officers. And they were to train the militia according to the regulations set by the federal government. But this spooked a lot of people like Patrick Henry in Virginia, that suddenly the most important way that the states could protect themselves, could put down rebellions, whether they be slave rebellions in the South or Shays' Rebellion in the North, or defend against frontier encounters with Indians. This most important institution was no longer under their control. They had to share it with the federal government, and in particular, they were worried that they knew they had had problems arming the militia, because again, people wanted the guns that were useful for them, not the guns that the militia would find most advantageous in a military situation, and they were worried the federal government would just not get around to arming it. And you know, today the fear of disarmament is always these black helicopters or people coming in the middle of the night to kick in your door and take your guns. The fear of disarmament in the 18th century, I mean, there is this fear during the Revolution of active disarmament by the British, but by the time the Constitution is being debated, a very different fear has emerged as the serious threat to the militias, and that's the fear that government won't do anything. And by sheer inaction, the militias will be disarmed because armaments rust, these armaments get broken, they need to be repaired. So even if there were enough muskets to go around, they would have to be kept in good repair. And so there is a sense that it would be very easy and very subtle to effectively disarm the militias by actually just doing what politicians are best at doing today, which is nothing. Inaction. So that is, I think, one of the hardest things for people to get their mind around, that the fears we have today that government is coming to do something to us, they could have a fear that government was coming not to do anything, and that was the problem.
Oh, that's so interesting.